we saw with the fair pay agreements, an absolute bloody outrage. And, we fought it as long as we could, but they've got the numbers and it's only a matter of time. But it was important for us to put up a fight so that people could see that this actually means something to us. We were proud of this. This was our legacy that they're trampling on. And but what's more important is that working people are going to suffer as a result. They will not get better conditions. They will not get the wage increases that they would have done otherwise. And we wanted to pose the question of all the things that the national government could do, especially on the back of an election where they promised to help people with the cost of living. It says a hell of a lot that this is one of the first things they do is to prevent wage increases. So a total opposite of what they campaigned on.
Yeah, I'm interested. Why do you think Labor got nutted so badly in the election? Because, and I'll use fair pay as an argument, typically older, typically whiter people vote for the other side. But it seems like they weren't even able to see in front of, a foot in front of their own faces, the older, whiter voter, to go, now, we always talk about the next generation. That's a political thing. Now, if this guy gets in, my kids and grandkids are going to be worse off. You know what I mean? It's like that. It seems like they didn't think that through. So why do you think, and I'm not having a wake here for Labor, but in general, it was a bit of a troll thing. What do you put it down to?
Well, I suppose the first thing to say is that, the voters are never wrong. So I wouldn't presume to say that they made a mistake. They made a decision that was right for them at the time. I do think, though, that there are elements that are coming through now that perhaps not everyone was aware of. I think that's fair to say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was a tough 6 years. They probably saw as much of us as they would have done normally in 9 years. And it's usually the case that New Zealanders feel that it's time for change after 9 years. There definitely was a mood for change. Labor Party has to reflect on that, and we are. I was really pleased to see that Chris Hipkins came out and said that the manifesto is a blank page. That in itself recognises that probably didn't get the policy mix right. Yep. But also in the context of fair pay agreements, I think what's crucial is that for most New Zealanders, it was a theoretical concept because it hadn't had the time to bed in yet. And we know for sure that's why National are getting rid of it now, because they don't want an agreement, which many are quite far through. Once one's settled for security guards or cleaners or supermarket workers or whatever, there's something tangible there to hang it on, So we can see the benefits of it. If they get rid of it real quick, then it just becomes this thing in theory that's quite difficult to explain without something right there in front of you and quite easily to dismiss and get rid of, and that's exactly what they're doing. So in terms of lessons, how do we explain that? Could we have got it in quicker? And those are the questions that we've got to ask, because you can almost guarantee as soon as we're back, they're coming back in. They have to.